Good morning and welcome again to KJ's Porch Puppy Comics. I'm KJ with you this morning, and we thank the Lord. And God bless you, comic book community. God bless you all, and Merry Christmas. God is blessing you, blessing us all, and He's keeping us in spite of what's going on around us, what may be going on in our families, what may be going on in our bodies. The Lord is yet blessing. He's answering prayers. Don't think that He's not. Don't get it twisted. Don't listen to all the negativity, all the negative hype. The Lord is still on the throne. He's sitting high and He's looking low. And He yet thanks the Lord. He thanked the Lord for him and what He is yet doing for us. So, this is episode 86 of the Pickle Barrel. And we yet thank the Lord. I'm not going to talk too long, believe it or not. Quite a few books. Actually, I'm just going to break it up and we'll just hit them until we get them all done. Thank the Lord for my brother T. Ravis over on his channel. He alluded to our old shop. A gentleman bought it. And great guys, I said beforehand, him and his wife, I think back in episode 85, it might have been, him and his wife had bought this shop, actually bought this corner of the block. And so he wants to get the building rented. Excuse me. Used to be an old comic guy, young guy, but he was younger then. And so as he went through and he decided to open up, as my brother was saying, on Saturdays. And we had the opportunity to go in. And as my brother Troy was saying, if you hadn't checked out his channel, T. Ravis Comics, check him out on the YouTube. He's another one of the brothers I follow because I think he's a hometown man, as I say, a hometown boy. And we thank the Lord for him. I'm telling you, folks, as Troy stated, and I couldn't agree with him more. It was something going back into the old shop. It's been closed for a while, and like I said, quit selling new books, and then was just the foot traffic kind of dwindled off, and then the COVID hit, and then the foot traffic really dwindled off. There would be times I think we would go in there, myself, T. Ravis, other guys, not at the same time, but we would go in there and would see the gentleman that ran the shop at the time in the person of Kevin Clark. And we would go in there and just sit down and just chew the fat with him, and we just missed him. We missed Kevin, because he was a great guy. And we just, but seeing everybody, all the old gang, it was something else. And it did kind of tug at your heartstrings, you all. It really did. And, that a place that you can come to, and there was no judgment there. There was no, I don't care, you male or female, black or white, whatever, whomever. Everybody was coming in and everybody was treated the same. It was a great place to come, and that's what they said. It was the getaway. That was the hideout for those of us who didn't have men caves. That was the getaway. So anyway, and the books that I'm gonna be showing this morning, it's gonna be a combination. That's what these books are gonna be. These books is gonna be a combination. This first book that you're looking at is a book that I had gotten when he took us and had us go through, and we started digging through books, and like I said, it was dollar books, that we was going through. And I found this one. I don't usually pick these particular books up, but this one here was just quirky enough to pick up. Joker with his hat kicked sideways and everything. I mean, it was just, it's funny. But this was the anti-hero, I guess, special edition, I think is what it says. And it says comic book villains, the baddest of the bad. And I just digged the cover, and I thought, well, man, that'd be pretty cool. And so I just picked it up. I haven't really had a chance to go through it completely, but it's naming off the worst 25 villains in comic book history. So it ought to be pretty good when I get down to it. These next books that I'm going to show you are books that was come from RB. My brother, he brought these to the shop with him as an early Christmas gift. Me and him had talked about it. I have been looking for these books with these particular Michael Turner covers. These were very sought after books when they came out. And these books are still sought after today. And he was nice enough to bring me that number 1, issue number 2, issue number 7. And eventually, comic book community, I'm going to fill in the blanks eventually. Then there was this House of M, number 1, Spider-Man House of M. And it's the Wizard World Chicago, San Diego Comic-Con International book. It's like a black and white sketch. I've never seen that one that I can remember. But he had gave me those books. I tell you, I said, we got a strong community here, as well as I'm sure some of you all do in your hometowns and different cities and states and what have you. But in this little corner of the world right in here, we got some great guys. And he's even looking at trying to open a shop up back in this town because there hadn't been one in here in a while. And we're praying that the Lord bless that he'll be able to do it. This next book here is a eBay buy. Thought it was pretty cool. If you can see it from the glare, it's a Fantastic Four Director's Cut Edition number 500. Seen it, never actually owned it. So I said, guy had a real good price on it. And so I just figured I'd go ahead and pick it up. There's no spine ticks on it. It's in really good shape, y'all. Done some more trading. I got rid of that trading box of books. And as I said, I go through, if I keep going through picking up these dollar books and different books and stuff, and because I was really fascinated with the amount of books that we was able to pick up there at the old shop, the old LCS. And I'm telling you, it's something else. So I'm going to have to probably, again, I guess y'all say, this man do more scorched earth. Trust me. If I'm getting stuff that I want to get, I can do away with it. If I've already read it, or maybe I have no interest in it anymore, then I'll go ahead and swap it out. Oh, before I forget, do like for you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I thank the Lord. I think we're up to 46 people on this new channel now. And more people are coming in, finding the channel. I thank the Lord for you. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Step on over to KJ's Porch Puppy Comics. Look, all we doing is showing books, giving you the word of God. I don't pretend to know everything. I'm not afraid to ask. I thank the Lord for my brethren, Brother Rob, and others that, Brother Matt Halls. He'll, they'll chime in and tell me if it's a particular book, especially if it's something a little bit newer, a little bit older that I know nothing about, So, like I said, like, share, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you'll never miss an episode. This book here I got in trade from Brother Paul. And out of all the Daredevils he had, and I had a stack of Daredevils, but for one, I wanted this one. Seen this one advertised, never owned it. Don't really have a lot of old Daredevils, but this one here just caught my eye. Now, as you can tell, this looks like it's a chip, but it's not. It's actually part of the window. It's got a little stress along the spine. It's got a line, a crease going across here. But the book presents well. The colors are pop in it. And Daredevil is going against Mr. Hyde and Cobra. And for some odd reason, they said he's without his superpowers. So some odd reason, I haven't read this particular story, but just thumbing through it, he's lost his ability to sense things around him. I believe by the end of the book, he got it back, but I'll get a chance to read it eventually. This one here, it's a book Brother Mikey turned me on to. Had it, traded it off, but I never, every time I see it, I always seem to think maybe I'll pick it up. And it's because of Clayton Crane's art in this particular ride. Now, I collected ride back in the day, and comic book community, this man has done something with ride that I just, the story, the art, it's fantastic. And but now I'm just not like I said, I'm not really what you would call a completist anymore. So if I can pick up the first issue, if I run across another issue or two in the dollar box or what have you, I may pick it up. But I did trade for that one. I also, Brother Paul had this one that I traded for. Been looking for it. XO Man of War. And this is back from the 90s. The only problem with this book is it doesn't have the coupon in it. You know, back in the day, they put the coupons in these particular books, and it don't have the coupon in it. But the book presents well, looks good. I'm happy with it, coupon or not. You know, it's a great book. And so, just putting a little bit of the nostalgia back into it, because that's what I believe I'm collecting for now is the nostalgia. Now, I know there's an ongoing Hook book that's going on that people are just clamoring about. Let me move some of these out of the way. We don't want a man down situation. And I know there's a lot of Hook books that people are dealing with and talking about. But those of you in the comic book community, I urge you to pick up this 2-issue run right here. He happened to have this in his box. And I just, I've been looking at them online, but I mean, they are really pricey because this is the particular book where Hulk becomes one of the horsemen of war is what he ends up being. And what a lot of people would say is the precursor to the World Breaker Hulk. Now, that's just what they saying. It's just a great book. The story in these little 2 books. This is what I like about the older books, y'all. They may run a little bit, maybe 3, sometimes 4, depending on how the story is. But, in this book here, these 2 particular books in which I didn't have the first one. He didn't have that first part. But I was glad to get the second one, and I'll locate the first one first part eventually. But this is Incredible Hulk 457. This is the battle here, and I'm telling you, it's fantastic. There's a lot of Hulk stories that I like, but there's a whole lot of them that just really, Peter David just outdone himself on some of these Hulk books. I'm here to tell you. Let's move on. Our next book. Happy to get this one, believe it or not. You don't see this one around much, at least we don't in this area. This comes from the dollar bin. Well, no, we still in the trading. Okay. So these are still from Brother Paul. This is Ruin and the Silver Surfer. And Silver Surfer dealt him up with dealing with the Infinity Gems. There's a backup story dealing with Silver Surfer on the back of this one. It's real nice. But I figured it was a good book to pick up. The book is square bound. It's nice. It's sharp. It's clean. It's just a good book to pick up. This one here, you all, I think I've seen a lot of creators flash this particular Daredevil. And I've always liked this cover with Kingpin holding the mask. I've always liked Kingpin as a character way back when the old Spider-Man days on the old 60s Spider-Man. When they brought him out. And even as he graduated over to Daredevil, which I always thought he should be a street level villain. But those of you out there, hit me up on the comments and let me know. There was a thing going on here about maybe 15, 20 years ago where they was trying to say that Kingpin was in actuality some kind of a mutant. And to take the type of beatings that this man took, because if I remember correctly, over in Amazing Spider-Man, and I think it was Sensational Spider-Man and all those connecting titles where he had put a hit out on Peter Parker when he'd been ousted for who he was, but ended up shooting Aunt May instead. And Peter just went off the deep end. And I think he beat Kingpin to within an inch of his life. Because as I told you once before, even when Doc Ock took over Peter Parker's body, he really realized that Peter was actually pulling his punches. I thought that was cool to find out, because, this man here, he could do some stuff. So if you know, just let me know. But this particular cover here, this is Daredevil 253. And he's saying again, Merry Christmas, Daredevil. Yes, indeed. Still dealing with what I got from Brother Paul. Been looking for this one. Into the Lost World of the Warlock first issue special from DC number 8. This tells the origin of, what is his name? Well, just tells the origin of Warlord. I know his name is Morgan something. But anyway, but it's a great book. You find it, I mean, this one here, if I run across one that looks maybe a little better, fine, but I'm happy with this one. It's got a few fine ticks, it's got a few creases, but the book still presents well. I mean, it's a nice book. It's a real nice book, and being as old as it is, you know, coming out in the 70s, the book yet pops. So I like it real well. This one here was just merely a cover grab. It's a one-shot what if with a J. Scott Campbell cover, and it's just purely a cover grab. And I figured, I said, well, why not? You know, and like I said, they'll end up staying for a little while, and then it may end up back in the, may be in the box. These next books are Adam Hughes books. This is Harley and Ivy meet Betty and Veronica. The Adam Hughes books, you all, as you know, it seems like they've been popping up. The Dave Stevens books has been popping up. And, you know, they really do a good job with these. And these still, like I said, come from Brother Paul. Here's a variant with Life with Archie. And I thought this one was real cool. And like I said, you don't see a lot of these in the dollar boxes or in the trading boxes. At least I don't, where I go to trade and, you know, pick up stuff. But I thought this was a cool Adam Hughes cover as well. These next 3 books will be the last books that I got from Brother Paul, you all. Yeah. Here we go. Laugh at me if you will. Let me move these out of the way because I want you to get a great big look at these. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Whitman's Condor Man from Walt Disney Productions. If you've never seen the movie, you're on YouTube, punch in Condor Man, look at a few excerpts. It is over exaggerated. It is as campy as you want to be. But for some odd reason, I don't know. Like I said, I'm weird. I'm picking up oddball stuff. But now here's something too y'all can help me with. Check this out. Here's issue number 2. And issue number 2 says, in big bold letters, conclusion. Part 2 of the movie. Okay? But directly behind those, you all. What? Issue number 3? And issue number 3 is a totally different story. I believe it's even dealing with a totally different guy. I mean, they still got the photo cover showing excerpts from the movie. It's really bad, you all. The movie is really bad. Why did you pick up the comic books then, KJ? I just picked them up. Okay. Don't hate, appreciate. All right. Let's move on. Check these out, y'all. Atlantic Press. I've only had the first issue of this book. Never seen any more. Going into the dollar sale books now, y'all, from the old LCS. So there's issue 1. Issue number 2. Issue number 3. Issue number 4. Issue number 5. Can you believe it? That is incredible. And these books are nice. They present well, as I always say, but look, I mean, there ain't no spine ticks, no creases. And the storyline from the first one, I like to finish up. So now I got the full set. But it's Tomorrow Man and Night Hunts. I think is what he is. Night Hunter. Excuse me, I ain't got my glasses on. All right, you all. Our scripture reading this morning will be coming from 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, 1 verse, you all. 1 verse. Chapter 4, verse 7. And it reads, For God has not called us unto uncleanliness, but unto holiness. For God has not called us unto uncleanliness, comic book community, but unto holiness. For he said in his word, be ye holy, for I am holy. Ah, it's wonderful to serve the Lord. Check out these variant covers. Fantastic Four 643. Fantastic Four 644. Anytime you got Galactus and them on and Doctor Doom on the cover, ladies and gentlemen, it's a party. Still going on with our dollar books. Sunfire and Big Hero 6, number 2. Number 2, and couldn't find the rest of them. You know, we were just going through boxes and just looking, and I was just picking out what caught my eye. This one here caught my eye as well. DC movie special, Batman, number 1, 1989. Dennis O'Neil, Jerry Ordway, and Steve Oliff. They have this book, and then I believe they've got one that's got a specialty cover on it, maybe raised or sparkly. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen the book. But this one here is in such a pristine shape. And that's the thing. If you heard T. Rabbit say the books that you pick up that you were finding, most of these books had no backing boards, no plastic bags or nothing over them. But they was coming out the box looking like this. It's amazing. The next books that I was really glad to get, and I'm going to put this set together. X-Men Archives, number 1, featuring Captain Britain. That's number 1. Featuring Captain Britain, number 2. Didn't find a 3, then it jumps to 4. I think it's about 7 issues in this whole series, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a great book indeed. All right. Move these out of the way. Here's another book that everybody seemed like they're going after, at least the character anyway. Elsa Bloodstone. This particular book was something else. I mean, it's something else. It was one of those books that we just have to I thumbed through it. It's a read. I've seen the Marvel Zombies with the Battle World, but I never really looked through them. I just seen them and went by, but with her on the cover, I figured, let me pick it up and see, because I did enjoy her in the Werewolf by Night that Disney had put out around Halloween. I thought that was real cool. But this book here is something else. I may try to put them together. I haven't quite decided. But that book is nice. But check this one out. Terry Dobson, Wonder Woman, number 10. That in itself is a great book, you all. Had to step away for a quick minute. As I say, this is a particular time of year for me. And already getting cake orders in. So I am baking as I am filming this. This Terry Dobson cover is nice. I mean, what else can you say about it? I mean, the black and white in it, even with the splotches of red on there, it pops. It's a nice cover. This one here, this one got mixed in with my other. This is another book I had gotten from Brother Paul in trade, but I couldn't pass this one up, you all. Look at that. Phantom Stranger, number 33, featuring Dead Man. And that cover is nice. You hear me? It's nice. I always like Dead Man as a character anyway, But Phantom Stranger, it all depends on what he's in and what he's doing. But I like this particular cover. I think it's more of a cover grab, but I did thumb through it, and it's a nice story. This one here, if you're wondering why I'm talking like that, this one here, babies. This one here is the king. And I don't mean the one that I serve. I'm talking about Mr. Elvis Presley himself. I'm trying to tell you right now. Check this out. We got a laugh out of this one, and they laughed even more when I told them that I had this book years ago. And the thing that caught me about this book is that he looks like Elvis Presley. This book here is done by Roy Thomas, and it's Crime Smasher. It's a special edition, first issue. It's a black and white book, but it just the picture between this gentleman and Elvis Presley is just absolutely uncanny. But I had to pick it up again because one, it's a first issue, and two, it's an 80s book, and three, he looks like the king. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Our next book, first issue special, the all new magazine. You don't see too many of these, and this is old school Antarctic press. And the book is fantastic. It's nice. I'm leaning more into stuff like this to check it out, to see what's up, and I'm trying to put together a run of a book called Daikatsu. And I think I pronounced it correctly. If I didn't, y'all forgive me. But it's a black and white book. I forgot who it was put out by. It came out in the 80s. And of course, it's dealing with giant kaiju, which is what I'm into. And to find these particular books, they are yet drying up. And, because like T. Ravis was saying, a lot of these independent books, people are snatching up. Here's issue number 2, and these books are meaty. These books are thick. Even though it's got a $3 price tag on it, and that, like he said, that's even from the 80s. These books here are thick. This is probably the equivalent now of maybe 3 regular size comic books in this day and time. And it's page for page, all black and white, but it's nice. And so I said, I'm going to hang on to them. I may run across some more. This is another book, like I said, staying with the dollar issues from the old LCS. Never really got into the but this Wolverina and dealing with some other stuff in there, it's it's crazy. Now, the only problem with this particular book is that it's got some moisture hold to it. I mean, you can't see it the way it's in there. I mean, it looks good. But what I've been trying to do here lately, when I'm going to dollar books or dollar bins, or even when I go to trade, is I run my hand along the top of the book and along the bottom of the book. Well, I might as well say over the whole book, but mostly the top and the bottom, because it seems like that's where the moisture gathers. And when the moisture gathers in there, it'll ripple the book. Now, it doesn't do anything to the story. And I know a lot of people say, well, sometimes a good press will take care of that. And I guess if it was an older book and I was really into the pressing, maybe. But, it's a reason why, we named this Porch Puppy Comics, because as we say, our tagline is, if you can't run with the big dogs, stay on the porch. It's nice on the porch, and I like it. Next book. First issue, 1989, El Diablo, street level character, has no superpowers whatsoever, and it's a cool book. I don't think he went no more than maybe about 12, 15 issues, but it's a really, really cool book. I had the whole run back in the day, but to find one in this shape, I mean, this book is fantastic. It's really nice, and I really dig the character as well, So I saw it. I figured I'd pick it up. Our next book's on the docket, you all. Is a book called 2000. Square-bound book put out by DC. The whole premise of it is, somehow or another, weapons and technology from the year 2000 has been flowed back into the 1940s and has gotten into the hands of the supervillains. And so there was a part in this book, if y'all never picked up, because I'll tell you, some of the stuff I get is kind of weird. But if y'all never picked up this book or has ever seen it, you need to pick it up and read through it. because this is dealing with the JSA and the Justice League. I guess this is maybe an Elseworlds, I think it is, where they're trying to get the technology back. All this, time, temporal, different things going on. But it's a particular part in this book, in this first issue, where the villains have got they done lured Flash in, and Flash has come in. This is old school Flash, Jay, and he comes in and they'll start shooting at him with old school 1940s Tommy guns. And of course, he takes his helmet off and he deflects these bullets right back at him, like he usually does. But then these guys and girls pull out, well, they pull out futuristic machine guns from the year 2000. And so when they start shooting again, he pulls out, takes his helmet off and tries to deflect the bullets. And the bullets are going straight through his helmet. And it ended up where he was deflecting the bullets at the first round to keep from hitting the policeman that was trying to, help him. End up shooting some of the policemen that was with him. He was terrified. And but come in, and Batman had come in and took out one of the main antagonists and had taken out him. And Flash went through and checked every part of the floor of this building that they were in, and he said he couldn't find a man that looked like a bat. It's a good story. You need to pick it up and read the whole shebang. And it's just the meeting of the characters. And like I said, these books was in the dollar pickup. This is another JLA superpowers. This gentleman here, big guy, ended up with superpowers. I think it ended up going to his head. And I can't remember. It's been a long time since I read this particular story. But I don't know if he sacrificed himself or they had to take him out. One of the two. I can't remember. But still, it was a good book to read. And for me to pick it up again, it was a good book. These here, oh my goodness, you all. These books here, I couldn't pass these up. Yes, I know. It's the Superhero Squad. And I'm gonna leave that alone. So anyway, that's the first issue. And right behind the first issue was a first issue variant with the villains on there. There's Dr. Doom standing on Juggernaut, and you got old big head rascal right here, and it's wild. But I dug the cartoon. The art in it was cool for for what it was. Next book, DC Rebirth Holiday Special #1. Now this book here is a $9.99 price tag on it. We was wondering where Kevin got these books at, because they wasn't getting new books in around the time Rebirth and stuff come out. So I imagine it was something that I might have picked up in trade, or somebody else might have picked it up and traded it to him, one of the two. But it was still a good book, and I went on and picked it up. The next books, and these were I just picked up just for sheer cover. I might go back and put the set together. X-Men Adventures #4, Season 3. X-Men Adventures #5, Season 3. X-Men Adventures #7, Season 3. Then we've got X-Men Adventures #9. I got to look and see what season that is. Then we have #10. Thought these were cool. And here's another one I was telling you about with the waved cover. See, sometimes you can get right up on it and you might be able to see it right along there. But still, for $1, it's nice. Next books, Heroes for Hire #10 with Deadpool. Heroes for Hire #11 And these books here are nice to pick up too, since they've got all this stuff going on with Luke Cage now. And with him supposedly busting heads in New York, thought that might have been pretty cool. So it's just one of them things you may want to pick up, you may not, I don't know. But I'm trying to make sure here that I'm making sure you get your money's worth. Let me move these out of the way. Because I appreciate you stopping in and taking a look-see. X-Men, manga, #1. If you've ever seen these books, comic book community, they black and white, but the art is not bad in them at all. And, for the manga part of it, I enjoy it, really. And the covers on them are real nice. Let me see. That's issue 1. This is issue number 4. Issue number 6. I want to say these came out twice a month, but don't hold me to it. Let's see. Issue number 7. You can look at the covers on these. It's pure manga, y'all. Issue number 8. And issue number 9 of the manga X-Men. And last but not least, because we almost at 40 minutes here. Last but not least, this one here is a little beat up, but well, let's just put it out there. X-Men Chronicles. Dave Cockrum, art on the cover, combining the old and the new. I thought that was cool. Even way they got Phoenix, everything. And I mean, this book here, just tells you, put everything in chronological order. And they put out a lot of these, they came out with a Spider-Man, a Daredevil, a Fantastic Four, an X-Men. I believe they had an Avengers one, because I believe back in the day we used to have them all if we was able to pick them up. But I saw this one, and like I said, for these to be dollar books, y'all, in the shape that they're in, I mean, this one here is not bad at all, and I'm glad to have it. And again, I'm glad for you tuning in to episode 86 of the Pickle Barrel. And like I said, we've got more dollar books. We've got more trade from Brother Paul that we're going to show. I wasn't able to get a chance to trade with Brother Rob on this last go round. So hopefully maybe before Christmas, I can try to get up there and do a little trading with him and Brother Josh. But again, don't forget that scripture, you all, over in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. Read the whole chapter. I always tell you, read the whole chapter. For God has not called us into uncleanliness, but unto holiness. For holiness is not a denomination. Holiness is a way of life. He wants us to be holy, for he is holy. And so if you don't know Jesus, comic book community, and the pardon of your sin, this is a time to know him. I had to get to know him. I had to ask the Lord to forgive me. I ain't scared to tell you, because I'm just trying to help in this day and time. And I love you all, comic book community. Again, thank you all to my subscribers. Thank the Lord for you all, praying for the comic book community. I'm going to try to do my best to get out a few more, maybe between now and Christmas. Like I said, my nephew wants to come in and kind of give me an opening and different things. The man is very, very talented. And we may try it out after the first of the year if it's the Lord's will. If not, then, this personal, just, here it is format. I'm kind of liking it, because I'm not a that type of person where I just have to have everything just up and popping. If you can see the video good, if the book's up popping, you can see everything good. To be coming out on this old camera, this old phone, I guess everything is working pretty good. But I do thank the Lord for you all. Again, wishing you all a Merry Christmas. And just make sure that you put Jesus first in everything that you do. Let him know how much you appreciate him. Let him know how much you thank him and you're grateful. And the grateful is not just for Thanksgiving, it's in every day of the year. Love you, comic book community. Hopefully this be talking to you soon on episode 87 of the Pickle Barrel. Love you all. Have a great morning. God bless you.